powers to start blowing everybody in the streets.
Oh!
The sentence would have been a lot clearer if
Yeah, it sure would have been, because he's probably thinks of it's something completely different. Hey guys, my name's Dan. Today we're reacting to Superman 2 pitch meeting and what happens when one movie follows one of the best Superman movies of all time. Which is a tall task to follow, because whenever you have a movie as good as that one, so the next one has to measure up to it at the very least, and sequels generally have a bad rap because they don't really do that too often. So, does it? Well, throughout this video, we'll find out how Ryan feels about it and how he pitches it, and I will do my best to give my overall thoughts throughout the pitch meeting, and then afterwards as well. I did take a lot of notes, as you can see here. Lots of things to get through. I'm sure Ryan will talk about some of these things as we go through this, so I'm not gonna, read all of this at the end of this video, so we'll see how it all goes. But before we do, though, please do check all those links I have for you down in the description below. More specifically, the pitch meeting link and Ryan's personal channel. They're both great ways to support him, and a great and easy way to support me is to go right below this video and click all those buttons down there, because also let you see future reactions that I do, but also it's my channel to grow. Without any further ado, let's go.
So, you have a new Superman movie for me?
Sure
yes,
do.
Sir, I do. I was thinking we call it Superman 2. No, I think it should have a different name than the first movie. Right, so then I would call it Superman and then the number 2. Now we're talking. So what happens in this thing? Well, I figure like all good sequels, we start this off with an 8-minute recap of the first movie using clips from the first movie. Seems kind of excessive. Well, sir, people need to remember that the Marlon Brando character sent Zod off into space in a rectangle. Actually, we can't use Marlon Brando in this one. Oh, dang it. Okay, well, we'll recap the first movie and pretend like that part happened entirely differently.
Yeah,
Perfect.
sure. Yeah,
so
don't worry about
when the actual movie starts? Well, some frickin' terrorists are gonna blow up Paris with a hydrogen bomb, so Superman launches it into space. Seems like a lot to launch a whole city into space. No,
not the whole city.
Just launches the bomb. That's a better strategy, yep. But the explosion frees Zod and his two best friends from their space rectangle. Oh, they were floating past Earth? What are the odds of that? 100%. There was no way I wasn't
100% there's no way. But I do love the fact that we're already starting off with a bang. The action is there. We're already invested.
Write that. What a fun fact. So Zod and Ursa and Non land on the moon and kill a couple of astronauts there. Very impolite. And they find out about Earth. So they decide to head over there and rule. Oh, they want to rule Earth? They just seem to want to rule something. They don't really seem to care what it is. That's very open-minded of them. We need more of that kind of mentality, I guess. So on Earth, they have Superman-like powers, like super strength and flight and eye lasers. They're bulletproof. They can't be hurt. Only by snakes, sir. Only by snakes. What? So they fly over to Mount Rushmore.
He's just like, what? Why are snakes their Achilles heel? And why doesn't that come into play at all throughout this movie?
Change those faces to their faces with a single laser zap each. What again? And meanwhile, Superman and Lois Lane are off in Niagara Falls working on a story. Okay. And while they're there, a child starts falling for several minutes, so Superman saves it. Nice. Thank God that kid was falling for so long. Yeah, but then Lois pieces together that Clark Kent is Superman, so she
because she's very smart.
Jumps into the rushing water to force him to save her. So he turns into Superman? No, he keeps pretending to be Clark, but he does laser a tree for her so she can save herself. How does he know she wouldn't bash her head on a rock or something? Well, we're not even halfway through the movie, sir.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
it's fine.
In the script, he's got all kinds of powers. Yeah, so Lois is like, geez, I guess you really aren't Superman. Wow, well, it's crazy the lengths he'll go to protect his secret identity. It sure is, sir. So in the very next scene, he falls into a fireplace and she figures out his secret identity. Oh,
whoopsie!
So now that she knows, he decides to fly her to the Fortress of Solitude for a nice little dinner. Oh, lovely. And then she says she's gonna go change into something more comfortable. Did they stop along the way to get her pajamas? I guess so. And meanwhile, Superman starts talking to a hologram of his mom, and she's like, hey, if you love a human, you must give up your powers. Why? Because she says he's gotta. But why, though? Because she said so.
She just says so. There doesn't need to be a reason. Stop it.
Okay, then. And she says the thing is, if he gives up his powers, powers, there's no turning back. Jeez, I mean, that's an important thing to consider.
You
know,
think
as Superman,
so?
He saves countless lives all the time. Yeah, for sure. But see, the thing is, he really wants to sleep with this woman
Yeah,
for work.
she
Understandable.
really
Yeah,
does.
that's a good counterpoint for sure. So he
Yeah.
gets into this machine that takes away his powers and gives him normal civilian clothes. Oh, cool feature. So then Lois, who was madly in love with Superman, is like, wow, I can't believe you gave up being Superman for me. I guess that's romantic. So now they want hamburgers, so they start driving around looking for a spot. Did Superman have a car stored at the Fortress of Solitude? Sure seems that way. But then inside this
Don't ask
diner,
questions.
Superman gets beat up, and they see that Zod has taken over the country, so Clark is like, well, geez, I guess I better go get my powers back. Well, that's gonna be tough. His Hollow Mom
You
said
think
there was no
so,
going back.
wouldn't ya?
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, he walks all the way back to the North Pole and finds a little green kryptonite thing, and so that settles that. He's all set. Oh, well, his Hollow Mom made it sound impossible to turn it back. Yeah, well,
did?
it wasn't. Oh, my God.
Okay,
so
all right,
meanwhile,
aggressive.
Lex Luthor, remember from the first movie?
He's from the first movie.
Yeah, so he escapes from prison. How does he manage that?
Gene
Well, he invented
Hackman.
a little projector in his cell that shows an image of him, but the guards see that the light's still on in his cell after lights out, so he almost gets caught. Seems like he could have just turned off the lights and bought himself a lot more time. Yeah, well, he invents a projector instead, so he tells Zod that if he wants to find Superman, he needs to go to the Daily Planet and find Lois Lane. And what's in it for Lex Luthor? Australia. Okay.
Just
So
wants
Zod
Australia,
goes to the
yeah.
Daily Planet, and Superman shows up to save the day.
Oh boy.
So they fight for a little bit, and Zod realizes that Superman's weakness is that he cares about people.
He does.
So the bad
Sure
guys
does.
use their powers to start blowing everybody in the streets.
Oh.
The sentence would have been a lot clearer if
Yeah, it sure would have been because he probably thinks of it's something completely different.
it was like a clip playing over me so you could see what I was talking about.
That'd be nuts.
Anyway, then Superman lures them to the Fortress of Solitude.
Luring people to your lair is tight.
And they do some more fighting
not.
there. They multiply themselves. Superman throws a plastic S at one of them. He has the power to throw plastic S's.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
As
Sure
a child
does.
of Krypton, sometimes he can throw
He
a
can do
cellophane
things.
logo.
Yeah,
at
just
people.
Well,
things.
okay then.
And then Superman's gonna make them all think that he's getting into the machine that takes away your Superman powers, but in reality, he reversed the machine to take away their powers if they're outside of it.
Oh, so Zod and his buddies get some normal civilian outfits?
Now they just lose their powers.
Oh.
So then they murder the bad guys and
He really wanted them to get civilian outfits so bad. He was so disappointed. I just gotta get a look at his face real quick.
powers.
Oh.
So
See, look how disappointed he is. He looks so... He really wanted that to happen.
then they murder the bad guys and save the day. Oh my God. But now Superman decides he doesn't want Lois knowing his secret identity, so he gives her a big kiss that wipes her memory. A memory wiping kiss, huh? That has some pretty messed up implications.
Sure
it
does.
doesn't. And oh, by the way, there's a picture of Bill Cosby hanging on the wall at the Daily Planet. Why'd you bring that up? I don't know. So what do you think? Well, it sounds
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
like a movie. Do you think people will be mad about Superman killing Zod, though? Why would anyone get mad at something like that?
Oh dear. Yeah, they did get mad at that from Man of Steel, but I actually really loved Man of Steel. So there was, I did have a lot here, but he basically went over just about everything, cause I don't really have too much else here. I will say, like, you know, outside of those few minor things of, you know, the whole losing his powers and being told you're supposed to lose your powers forever, and then just him just randomly just getting it back just like that. I thought that was a bit of an oversight, but all in all, the movie was well-paced. It had everything. It had action. It had romance. It had a lot of fighting going on, and it was very easy to follow, very easy to understand. Bad guys are bad, evil, doing evil things, doing terrorist-like things. And then you have Superman, pure good, saves the day in just about every single way possible, did his best to save everybody's lives, and did a hell of a job at doing it. I can see why people love this movie as much as they do. I've looked up a bunch of different rankings, and this is really high up there. Some people have it as literally number 2 in all of the Superman movies ever, which is astounding considering just how many of them there are. A lot of people still consider the first one to be the best. I can kind of see that too. I haven't really done any sort of rigging system, so I can't really say that for sure myself, but it's certainly up there. So that's gonna do it for me here, though. Comment down below, let me know, what did you think about Superman 2? Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Also, check all those links I have for you down in the description below. And lastly, and most importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 and up supporters on Patreon: Cruising, Wolverine 310, GBN, Kester Kronich, Amber K, Rayman Bright, Joshy, Chris Curtis, Haley Machinardi, Ann Perry, Larka, Voskophony, Morgan Page, Misa, Misa2, Lily the Snoopy Fan, Lauren, Fleet Street Vicomp, Sophie the Sunset Girl, Sarah Long, Summer the Dog Lover, Scott, Misa3, Andrew of the Voo, Arrow Hamster, Kay, Inca Linquist, Anna, Julia, Costa de Souza, and Aubrey the Charlie Brown Lover. And if you too like to have a shout out at each every one of my videos, please head over to patreon.com/TheDamnReactor for more, and I'll see you guys next time.